Welcome back to Timeless Sagas, my fellow historians. Today, we are going to embark on a journey through time and take a deep dive into the captivating history of one of the world's most famous urban parks, Central Park in New York City. So, grab your time-traveling gear, and let's head back to the 19th century. The story of Central Park begins in the early 1800s when New York City was growing at an unprecedented rate. The bustling metropolis was in desperate need of an escape from overcrowded streets and the perils of urbanization. In 1853, the New York State Legislature approved the plan to create a park in the heart of the city, spanning 778 acres from 59th to 106th Streets and from 5th to 8th Avenues. Now, you might think, oh, they just needed to find an empty piece of land and start planting trees, right? Well, my friends, the process was much more complicated than that. The land earmarked for Central Park was not a vast, open meadow, but a rugged terrain consisting of swamps, rocky outcrops, and small settlements. One of these settlements, Seneca Village, was a thriving African-American community, which had to be displaced to make way for the park. In 1857, the Central Park Commission held a design competition to decide the layout and appearance of the park. Over 30 entries were submitted, but it was the greensward plan by Frederick Law Olmsted, a landscape architect, and Calvert Vaux, an English architect, that stole the show. Their vision was to create a picturesque landscape, inspired by the romantic parks of Europe, which would serve as the lungs of the city and provide New Yorkers with the perfect oasis to unwind and reconnect with nature. Building Central Park was no easy task. Picture this: over 20,000 workers, including immigrants, laborers, and even a few elephants, were employed to transform the rugged terrain into the beautiful park we know today. They moved millions of cubic yards of soil, built bridges, tunnels, and arches, and planted over 270,000 trees and shrubs. The construction took nearly 20 years to complete, and the park officially opened in 1876. Now, let's fast forward to the 20th century, when Central Park went through some tough times. The park had fallen into disrepair and suffered from neglect, vandalism, and crime. It seemed as if the once great oasis was on the brink of becoming a dangerous wasteland. But have no fear, fellow historians. The Central Park Conservancy, a non-profit organization, was established in 1980 to save our beloved park. The Conservancy undertook a massive restoration project, raising millions of dollars and mobilizing thousands of volunteers. By the 1990s, Central Park was once again a safe and beautiful haven for New Yorkers and visitors alike. Now, let's take a moment to appreciate some of the incredible landmarks and features that make Central Park so unique. Imagine strolling down the mall, a quarter-mile-long pedestrian promenade lined with towering American elm trees. This is where you'll find the Literary Walk, featuring statues of literary greats like William Shakespeare, Sir Walter Scott, and Robert Burns. A little further north, you'll come across the Bethesda Terrace and Fountain, with its stunning view of the park's great lawn and the city's skyline. Feeling sporty? Why not take a ride on Central Park's famous carousel? Originally built in 1908 and restored in the 1950s, the carousel has been delighting children and adults for over a century. Or perhaps you'd prefer a leisurely boat ride on the park's serene lake? Don't forget to pay a visit to the Central Park Zoo, home to over 130 different species, including snow leopards, sea lions, and red pandas. As the sun sets over the city, make your way to the Bow Bridge, an elegant cast-iron bridge that has been featured in countless movies and TV shows. Here, you can enjoy a romantic view of the park's lake and the skyline beyond. Central Park is not only a sanctuary for us humans but also a haven for wildlife. In fact, over 200 species of birds can be found within its boundaries, making it a popular spot for bird-watching enthusiasts. And let's not forget the park's most famous winged residents, pale male, the red-tailed hawk, and his various mates, who have been nesting on a Fifth Avenue apartment building since the 1990s. The history of Central Park is a testament to the power of human ingenuity and the importance of preserving nature in our ever-growing urban environments. The park has evolved over the years, adapting to the changing needs of the city and its inhabitants. It has seen triumphs and setbacks, but it has always remained a symbol of hope and resilience. So, the next time you find yourself wandering through the winding paths of Central Park, take a moment to appreciate the rich history and the countless hands that have shaped this beloved urban oasis. And remember, my fellow historians, the story of Central Park is not yet finished. It continues to unfold with each new generation, as we all strive to create a greener and more inclusive future. That's it for today's episode of Timeless Sagas. I hope you enjoyed our journey through the history of Central Park. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more engaging and comedic historical tales. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the fascinating stories that make our world so wonderfully timeless.